DEA like message about it.
Okay, xylazine is making the deadliest drug threat in our country that our country has ever faced. Fentanyl, even deadlier, said Administrator Milgram. DEA seized xylazine and fentanyl mixtures in 48 of 50 states.
There's no physical media anymore. Like, that can all go away, and you're left with like nothing. And that's wild to me that a corporation, who knows what you get canceled for, but they can just be like, all your work is gone. It's gone as if it never existed, and there's nothing you can do. Nothing.
The Anunnaki, well, the term itself means those who came from heaven to earth. And these Anunnaki are beings that came from outside of earth to earth, from many different places, potentially. Just like if you were to travel to Mars, right, and you met a Martian, they say, where you from? You say, I'm an Earthling. You wouldn't say I'm from Tampa. Right. So it's the same thing. It's a generalized term. And so, but these Anunnaki, these are the original Atlantean people. They created an Atlantean civilization. How do I know this? The tablets, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which is my first book, is about the Emerald Tablets. It's a bestseller right now. It's #1 out of 3 million books on Amazon. Why?
It's like geometrical exercises are taking place here in the Amazon. That's almost, not quite, but almost like the Greek exercise of squaring the circle. Jakosar, on the left, a square surrounding a circle. But in the foreground, we have this enormous geometrical event, which is a huge oval surrounding a square.
And did they find this once they started clearing? Is that when this?
This was found as a result of the clearances. That's how it became. Archaeologists became aware that these things exist in forest. It was only it's a sort of mixed blessing or mixed curse, if you like, because the clearances made it possible for us to know that these things exist. But the clearances ultimately will destroy the entire Amazon if they're allowed to continue.
People, bad things can happen in that regard. Just bizarre things. Now, back to we were talking about animals. I had a call from police, and they weren't sure. They didn't see a gun, but it appeared that someone had there was foul play based on the face and of the decedent.
Okay,
and that was just rodents, that had gotten into the home. Yeah,
I think I went to the last Blockbuster not long ago.
Where's that?
It's in Bend, Oregon.
Yes,
and I have an ex-girlfriend that lives up there, and it's a beautiful town, and I went in there, and what was fascinating? The most fascinating was how you saw so many titles. You're over here.
Like, for instance, Logan literally brings up my website, Scammed by Dylan Dennis, where I show 20 crypto projects Dylan promoted for money that are in the toilet now. And Dylan's only response to that is not that he didn't do it. His response has to be, hey, that same guy who caught me also caught you scamming with CryptoZoo. And then Logan has to pretend with this fake smile he plastered on the whole time, like, oh, I'm rectifying it, bro. Which, of course, he's not. He hasn't paid anyone. So this whole thing it's been very special for me to watch my evidence get thrown in their face by another guy who also got caught. But as funny as that moment was for me, I didn't want to just leave it there at this level of drama. Because right now, that's what this is to them. It's drama to use to hype a fight. Which scumbag will get knocked out? Pay to find out. But these two con men are out here trying to decide which of them is the bigger piece of garbage. But not just that, which already brings a smile to my face. But to do it, they have to cite my research into the other person while also denying my research into their own scams. I couldn't have dreamed of a better scenario. They have to have this thrown in their face in what should be a big moment for them. They have this big fight. It's all exciting. And then they get reminded, hey, you're actually a scammer. Like, Logan might have artist in his Twitter bio, but I love to remind him that the real kind of artist he is a con artist.
Were you bummed when the roast kind of went away? Did that bum you out?
No, I was happy to do 3 and then done.
Perch for you.
Yeah, and it was all I wanted to do. I was like building my act towards getting on that. The Trump roast was like my big break. My life was night and day after that. Then the Sheen roast came like a couple months later, and that was even bigger. And that I felt insane pressure because I was like, well, that was my big break, and those were jokes that I'd been working on forever. Now I've got 4 months. This is my sophomore album that could tank, and I didn't want it to seem like, oh, I got lucky. So that roast was so stressful. And then it was like a year until the Roseanne was my last one, and that was a letdown. It didn't have the same like hype to it that Trump and Sheen had.